Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Dr. Izati and others who are watching. So in today's presentation, my teammates and I, we would like to present to you our study, which is the title of our study is Religions and Sustainable Economy. So as you can see here, these are the names of our team members. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Okay, these are the contents of our presentation. We are going to be divided into five, so we are going to go into one by one each. Okay, next, as for the introduction, I choose two aspects in the economy, which is economy and religion. These two aspects are closely related with human civilization, and this can be proven by if we study the previous empire, the previous nation, or the previous countries, we can see that there must be economy and religion activities happen within that civilization, within that particular time. So that is why I concluded that these two are closely related, and economy, okay, we're going to go through definition by economy and religion. Economy is for the well-being. Economy is, in another term, is how human manages the limited resources that they have to distribute to other people, to among themselves, so that they can fulfill their needs. So that is what it means by economy. Meanwhile, religions are the one that draw the line between what is good and what is evil. Religions are the one that decides which one is good and which one is evil. So in other words, religion sets the healthy boundaries. Okay, so that is all from my part. I'm gonna give to my friends.
All right. Now we are moving on to the first point of Islamic perspective, that is human responsibility as the trustee and Khalifa of God. From the Islamic perspective, human is the trustee of God. As human, we have our responsibility to maintain a good relationship with God, other mankind, and environment. Everything on the planet was created by God. Therefore, we need to maintain a good relationship with God. By praying and paying zakat, for example, when we maintain a good relationship with God, we receive more from God. Besides that, we humans also need to maintain a good relationship with other mankind, such as with the other people around us, like our families, neighbors, and friends. It is more to human interaction that we need to maintain, in which we must behave ourselves as well as consider the diversity of humans to complete and grow this world in a more appropriate manner. Next, we also need to maintain our relationship with the environment, which includes utilizing resources such as forests, water, minerals, and air. We also must reflect the ecosystem ability to accept our actions as well as the resources, whether the resources are renewable or not. As mentioned in the Quran, we as the trustee were obligated to ensure that the sustainable development for the human to live in harmony. Next, I'll pass to Solemnity.
Okay, thank you, Farah. So okay, as for the second point, which is the balance, okay, as we can see that Islam really emphasize choose Quran and Sunnah as the main references. So what it means by that, it can be seen, it can be found many references. According to Abdul Rahman et al., it can be found in many references in the Quran and Hadith talking about how important it is to keep the balance between development and environment. Sorry. So Islam does not reject any idea of development at all. As the matter of fact, Islam encourages that. But what Islam really emphasizes on is to keep the balance between dunyawi, which is worldly, and ukhrawi, which is hereafter. So that is what it meant by Islam emphasize on the development of the economy, the balance between the development of the economy and the sustainable of the environment. So that is all for my part. Let's move on to the next.
All right, so for the sustainability economy in Christian's view, for the first point, I will be the one who present to you. And the first point is actually for Christian, it's okay. So for Christian view, the first point is actually in Christian, they really emphasize on sustainability, sorry, environmental sustainability. All right, now, so for the introduction, God created man and nature on the same plane, each in relation to each other, holding out the birds and plants as a model for how to live with God's plan. So this is mentioned in Matthew chapter 6, verses 26 to 30. And then for the second one, a true Christian safeguards the nature and would not carelessly pollute the environment. Right, now I would like to emphasize these 2 points, which is Christian contributes in protecting environment. So now, according to Lewis 2018, a growing effort by people of faith from across the religious spectrum to stop global warming from worsening reflects on some examples of recent public advocacy, such as the influential Papa encyclical Laudato Si on care for our common home. All right, and also according to Obiora 2017, many other projects such as the United Nations Development Programs, UNDP, projects on the environment were involved by Christianity because of its deep concern for social development in general. All right, now the last point, which is it also emphasized in Christian education agenda, which according to Lewis 2018, which I mentioned before, education for environmental sustainability and creation care does not remain sidelined as a fringe concern that was scripturally shaped in the Christian educational agenda. So, next slide. Okay. Talking about environmental sustainability, so why it does emphasize in Christian view? Okay, here's are the reasons. Those reasons are from the research paper from Overa 2017. It was suggested by Steve Degucci. Okay, first reason is God created this world and it belongs to God. Second one, if we care for life, we must care for the environment. Third one, our humanity depends upon the environment. The fourth one, creation is bound up with salvation. And the fifth one, the earth crisis is a crisis of culture to which the gospel speaks. So now I'll pass to Mila.
Next, we will look into consumption and reproduction that safeguards Earth's regenerative capacities from Christianity's view. First one, human responsibility as stewardess and trustees, not just as consumers and users. So, how humans treat the environment show the signs of respect towards the creator. The second one, act with restraint and awareness when using the energy that Earth produces. Ones should rely on renewable energy such as solar and wind and not greedily use unrenewable energy that may deplete one day. The third one, the residual waste being produced can be assimilated by the natural ecological system. Therefore, Christianity practices and follows the action of reduce, reuse, and recycle of all materials used in production and consumption of human well-beings. Humans are taught as well to adopt lifestyle that do not destroy the nature. For the first one, followers must set a limit for themselves on how much they consume and waste. The approach to sustainability in Christianity is how humans limit themselves on how much they consume and waste, and they must aware to do so. The last one, according to Joseph 2012, a researcher in Nigeria, mentions that Africa churches are addressing the climate changes and environmental degradation. So, as Africa is one of the continents that is vulnerable towards the climate changes. So the churches there are taking actions and have successfully created tree nurseries to supply seed for tree plantings and even set up demonstration for sustainable farming techniques to community around there. Next, I will pass it to Suchin.
Alright, I will present our opinions on this topic, which is religion and sustainable economy. First of all, Gopegi's opinion regarding this topic is when the economy develops without harming the environment and human beings, then only the economy could be sustainable. This is because us humans depending on natural resources, where natural resources contribute to economic growth, we use the natural resources, which is the precious gift from God. So we protect and care for the environment in order to have a sustainable economy. Next, for Muhammad Salihuddin, he stated that religion plays a pivotal role in developing a sustainable economy by drawing healthy boundaries between what is good and what is not. Next, Nur Farahin's point of view regarding this topic is each of us humans is the trustee sent by God to carry out our responsibilities on earth, and some of them are to protect the environment and our future. For Milashini, her opinion about it is we as humans should realize our responsibility towards the earth flora, fauna, and even of its resources to preserve and protect it, just like the teaching of our religions. Because only by having a sustainable environment, then we will have a sustainable economy. Last but not least, opinion from Tiong Siu Chin, which is I myself. An unsustainable environment or the imbalance of the environment could never provide sufficient resources to meet people's needs. Hence, it could not bring sustainable economy in the future. To summarize all of the points, there is one major similarity about it, which is all of us agree that religion is very important in order to have a sustainable economy. And in order to have a sustainable economy, there is no other choices other than sustain our environment. Alright, next conclusion. Okay, to conclude, Islam and Christian highly emphasize the importance of balancing the environment and economy. This could be seen when Islam highlighted 3 principles, meanwhile Christians stressed 5 reasons on this matter. In Islam, the principle that highlighted in Islam are humanity need to maintain good relationship with the Creator or God. They need to have a good relationship with other mankind, and they need to have a good relationship with the environment. Meanwhile, the reasons that has been stressed in Christian has been mentioned by Gopegi in her slide during Christianity perspective. So that's all for our presentation. Thank you.